Alberta Hunter, an internationally famous blues singer and cabaret star in the 1920s and 30s, who after 2 decades of retirement began a second successful singing career in her 80s. Miss Hunter was born on April 1st, 1895, to a chambermaid in a Memphis brothel. Her father, Charles Hunter, was a Pullman porter who died before she knew him. Her childhood was brief because at the age of 11, she went to work.
That was the first singing job I had. Oh. That was first. When I was a kid going to school, the people said I could sing because I was in school concerts and I sang. And my mother's friend had a daughter in Chicago, and she moved back and told her mother the girls were making $10 a week in the places singing. So this lady gave me a job, when I ran away from home. This lady's, my mother's friend's daughter, she was in Chicago. Well, they said Chicago. I thought, well, in Chicago she was. I'd walk right there and find her, So I went.
Just a little town.
Yeah, that's right.
Miss Hunter worked her way up through Hugh Hoskins Club, where the pickpocket women did everything in their power to show her how to live a clean life. The Panama Cafe, where her fellow singers included Florence Mills and Bricktop, and the Dreamland Cafe, where she sang with King Oliver's Creole Jazz Band, which included Louis Armstrong.
Their own.
You ever been married?
Been married once. Well, he wanted to be a waiter in a nightclub where I was. He was a fine man. Believe me when I tell you. He was a fine man, but I know he needed a wife that's going to look after his clothes being clean and get his meals regular, and I wasn't cut out for that. See?
Women's love right here. How did you, the original women's love. How did you tell him?
I didn't tell him. I just ran away.
Miss Hunter began recording in 1921 and at the same time began writing songs. One of them, Downhearted Blues, was Bessie Smith's first recording made in 1923. It sold 1 million copies within months, Miss Hunter recalled, and I'm still collecting the royalties. I'm too slick to let them cheat me out of that. In 1923, she moved to New York, where within days of her arrival, she replaced Bessie Smith in an all-black musical, How Come?, at the Apollo Theater on 42nd Street. After several years of shuttling back and forth between Chicago and New York, Miss Hunter moved to London, where she played in Showboat with a cast that included Paul Robeson, Sir Cedric Hardwicke, and Mabel Mercer. Miss Hunter came back to the United States later in the 30s and appeared in 1939 in the play Mamba's Daughters with Ethel Waters. In World War II and the Korean War, she entertained troops overseas. It was in 1954 when Miss Hunter's mother, whom she had remained close to all of her life, died. She decided to give up singing and do something to help humanity. She enrolled in nursing school and became a scrub nurse at Goldwater Memorial Hospital on Roosevelt Island, where she worked for 20 years, never missing a day, never revealing anything about her past. In 1977, the hospital, under the impression that she had reached a mandatory retirement age of 70, made her retire. She was actually 82. Bored with retirement, she attended a party for her old friend Mabel Mercer, who sang a few songs that so impressed her audience that the party led to a 6-week stint at the Cookery in Greenwich Village. She was an immediate sensation. Crowds lined the block outside the Cookery waiting to get in. Her engagement was extended indefinitely, and she used the nightclub as her base.
My castle rocking. Come on by and see. Come on, folks. I said, Mac, tip on up. Somebody, my castle rocking. Yeah, you can blow your tongue off everything free. On the top of the third door to the left. I swear you'll always find me. Something there, the chick's fairly wrong with me.
On October 17, 1984, Miss Hunter passed away at the age of 89 years old, where she performed up until the summer of 1983 at
And my mother
88
always
years
told me,
old.
have plenty sense, use good judgment, and have a mind of your own.